Yes, there we go. Okay, so yeah, just to have sum up, so very, very welcome to Koichiro from Sotonova Place team, who is actually a collective leading the placemaking movement in Japan. And we are very, very happy to listen to some projects of you, some insights of your process working in the public space in Japan. So I just give you the stage, Koichiro, to also share your screen. And if you have any questions, always feel free to write in the chat. We can answer those questions after his lecture, also to have a bit of exchange of ideas and thoughts and reflections.
Okay, thank you, Hannah and IntuyLab, for inviting me for this very special occasion. I'm Koichiro Tamura, or KT of Sotonova, and yeah, that is a group specializing in public space things in Japan. Soto means an outdoor, and bar means place. So yeah, the name of meaning of the organization says outdoor place, and you can Google it with this Sotonova, and you will find the media, which is our main platform. And you can find many several hundred articles about public spaces in Japan and the world. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure how much you are familiar with placemaking in your cities or in your course, but today I would like to introduce the essence and some projects in Japan. Okay, some more introduction of me. So yeah, that I have now roughly 3 different phases. So, Sotonova is my kind of side project, and here I do kind of the pro bono or kind of voluntary works for the advocacy, doing some actual project research things. Besides, I do consulting work for my main source of earning. That is also related to the urban development, and the other is a more community-based side. I do some self-interest project in my local town in the west side of Japan, and all 3 are tied with the same same enthusiasm of me, that is making public space and the public life better and rich. So okay, so today I explain and describe the overview of placemaking and introduce some cases and some practical side of the process. Okay, first, what is placemaking? The definition, there are many definitions, but the one is common cause which draws people together to collectively reimagine and reinvent public spaces at the heart of their community. So that is an kind of that is a definition by the global network called Placemaking X, and that is not only design, not only events, programs, but that is a kind of holistic thing and collaborative thing, not limited to to architecture or urban design discipline, but that is a kind of co-creation process with the community and many disciplines. So there is another way to explain what is placemaking? That the idea to turn space to place, which means space. When you say space, that means that just an it's just space. It's just an it's just a geological object or a domain, and it's just just there is on the ground. But when it gets some meaning for people in the community, that will be a different thing. That is place when you feel special to that location. That's your place. So the process to make a space into place is the way to understand placemaking. So there are some pictures from Japan. This is a kind of images of the space. It's just vacant, single use, one very restrictive. There are so many no-no-nos. So that's a very boring, and maybe a few people or feel that's special or not attracting. But when you say place, it looks more vibrant, more it looks people like that, smiling, communicating, enjoying, colorful. So that's how place look like. And the easy point when you say it's a place or not is that the existence of different activities. When you find people doing different things like chatting, playing something, eating, playing. So then maybe it looks really nice to you. So that's maybe my way to find place. So okay. So that is a very simple definition of placemaking. So next, I'm going to introduce some methodological features of placemaking. There are some kind of basic approaches, techniques of placemaking. So I picked 3 of them. 4 qualities, like a quick achiever, power of 10. So what do these mean? Okay. So let me start with brief history. Placemaking was initiated by this group, Project for Public Spaces, which is the non-profit group in the United States based in New York. So it's established 1970s, and the word placemaking has been used since 90s. So there are certain length of history, and so yeah, that's the concept born in New York, and I had a chance to study in New York, and there is only one academic the master's degree of the placemaking. So I studied there for 2 years, and I owe very much from this organization, PPS, and so that is the origin but it can be applied in different contexts. It's also getting popular in Europe and Asia. So my passion is to link different contexts and spread to different part of the world. Okay, anyways. Let me come back to the main point. So PPS says there are four major qualities that make some great place described here. That's uses and activities. As I said, when there are many different uses and activities that makes the place vibrant and meaningful. So that is one aspect. And the second one is comfort and image. Does it look nice or can you feel comfortable there? So that is the second perspective. And the third is access and the linkage. Is it accessible for you, not only for you, but for different people who has a different or physical features or ages or something. So and walkability is maybe getting very important in many parts of the world. So that is the one. And the last one is, I think that is the unique point, and for me the most important point for placemaking, that is sociability. That means whether the places or open for interaction for people, or even a communal sense. So that is the aspect. So these are four important viewpoints when you think of placemaking. When you think of the design of the placemaking, these four qualities will be a good clue for you to think about. So that is one of the core values of the placemaking. The second feature is the so-called lighter, quicker, cheaper approach. That's called the LQC in short. So as it says, the placemaking can start very small intervention, like putting very just maybe stuff that you can bring from your house. It can be very very small, very cheap, and so that means you don't need to start thinking about a big investment first, creating a permanent structure. Instead, you can test your idea very quickly with this LQC manner. So these photos are from our campaign of the parking day. That the action to place to turn roadside street space into a small park just a day. So that I think that's also done in Germany. So that's also started from the west coast of the United States, and we Sotonova introduced this this parking day to Japan, and what we did is to work with local groups who want to start something good, something interesting on the public space, and So this is a very great idea to start from the very small action, even though the group is not a very big one. Wanna reach in resource that can be done very quickly, and we helped them to prepare for this in terms of the physical arrangement and some procedures thing. So that's really a good way to start and spread an interesting way of interventions to many places in the countries and in the country and the world. Okay, so okay, maybe I will come back later. The other technical feature is called power of 10, and that is the idea to put various activities in a place and multiply them to scale the impact to the larger scale to the city. So when you think of placemaking project, you can go for some different scales. The smallest one is place scale. That's very short, small area on the site. When you design there, the lesson is to place some different spots for different activities and different people, so that it can accommodate various people and activities. And then next you are recommended to arrange such place on the site scale. When you place different places, the impact goes much bigger. And then when you have such very diverse very diverse mixed destination to the city, the impact goes to the district level, regional level, and the city will change. So that is the idea of the power of 10 that in the context of the placemaking. Okay, so so yeah, as I said, the placemaking can happen in different scales, from very small spot to the wider area in the city, and you can start from the LQC, like a quicker, cheaper intervention. But the important thing is not to stop there. So it can be just it can test such small thing first, but the idea is to iterate it and make it continuous to happen the long-lasting change. So that is the idea. So that is the process. So there so that means placemaking can happen in different scales and different time frames. So when you look for placemaking cases, maybe there are you can find many different things. Some are very small, the others are very big, well-founded. That may be because that that range is from the small thing to the bigger one. That's a continuous thing, and the small action can start from very community-driven action or the organic placemaking, and also or maybe some municipalities or developers can invest on site level placemaking, and then it happens in many different places strategically, or sometimes coincidentally, it can go to more larger scale placemaking. So then again, what I want to say here is there are different types of the placemaking. Let me show some examples. So yeah, as I said, the concept of the placemaking started in the United States 30 years before, but it's just a kind of lens to understand the city in the world. So the placemaking per se has existed in different cities, different contexts in the world, even before the word was invented. For example, in Japan, there are many, places like being in different part. That's very that has a long tradition in each place. So it's kind of the indigenous placemaking. It happened. It was not designed, but it happened maybe by the knowledge, by the wisdom of the city dwellers. Okay, so this is more contemporary one. This is again the one example of the parking day in Japan in a local town in the west part of the country. This street was the town has been depopulated, and the main street got very vacant, and then the city wanted to test this LQC parking day. That is just an very short term. The citizens driven placemaking. It's an maybe it's an maybe kind of starting point of placemaking intervention. So yeah, so we helped different cities for parking days. Okay, and this is okay, another one that is my kind of personal project with my friends in my town. So that is an using the really small park in the suburban neighborhood. We plan to come on a specific day and time, and we bring something for play, and so that is an collaborative action with community. The senior people who wanna even younger generation come to or come to bring something fun, wanna teach, tell children the old way to play. So that kind of engagement is part of the placemaking action. Okay, so let me go to more larger scale, longer term placemaking. That is a site level placemaking project in a old park on a former riverbank. This river was shifted by the engineering project that the river route has been changed to different points. So this riverbank got unused. So the city planned to transform it to the park for people. So and then city did a very rigorous engagement process. In the process, the city had many workshop, engagement sessions, and organize local community who takes care of the place and make a book for kind of it's an kind of vision for this park and the community. So thereafter this park becomes a very nice with many different places for different activities, different ages groups activities. So and these organized groups and are very enthusiastic, passionate about having an event and care for this place. This is a site level example. This is not our project. And this is also not our project, but it's an fan. And when we talk about the area level, the district level placemaking, that's a good example. That's in one of the major station in the center of Tokyo or Toshima. The city had renovated four parks around the station. It's here. This is a really remarkable one in Tokyo, even in the country. The city started to transform different parks, and in 5 years or so, this project has completed, and the image of the area has been completely changed. This area used to be not really attractive, but it's more it attracts more different people and the comfort has been improved greatly. So that is an example of the district level placemaking. Okay. So then, why we talk about placemaking in our country? Let me give some context of us from four perspectives. From the policy side, yeah, that the national government is now very keen to regenerate city, especially in particular, the ministry is now pushing the walkable city. I think that's also happening in many cities in the developed countries, and also the government is now changing some regulation so that private sector or civic sector can be more involved in the city making process. So that may be kind of double-edged sword, but our economy is shrinking in general, so the government no longer can do from the 1 to 10. Instead, they want more, private creativity or private financing resource. So that is one context. And from the economic side, yeah, there are two different things. In the major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, actively redevelopment is going on. But the other part has a very different story. The other parts are shrinking, and it's getting vacant, like the one photo that I showed. So such cities want to, want to revive their town center. From the social side, okay, again, so we need to, revitalize the society and the public spaces. Yeah, our cities generally developed in terms of the at least physically, but they are usually not well designed for activities and the people. So that is the lessons for us, and now we want to make it more, user friendly, people friendly, so that that's a demand. And from technology side, social media is has something to do to accelerate the placemaking on urban design project, because people can now easily spread the nice looking images, photos, scenery. So that has something to do. And now, like the quick achiever thing, that's temporary structure can be more accepted now, and there are many gears and gears, ideas in this regard. Okay. So in general, placemaking, it's said placemaking creates a place capital, and it has a different it creates a very different impacts like stimulating the local economy and the sense of comfort. Maybe I would say in Japan, these two aspects are more focused when we do some placemaking, but there are more wider impact of the placemaking, that is an improvement of accessibility, social interaction, creating a good health and boosting social sense of community. So that depends on the project, but it has the potential to create many different values. So I would say that is not just an physical design, but it's good to be mindful for different challenges and aspects in your society, and it's good to involve different expertise to make that impact. Okay, maybe I have to speed up for the last part about the process of the placemaking. So yeah, that there are different ways of doing placemaking, but that is just a general and standard steps. Yes, it's written like here. It starts from the find place and stakeholders, people who to work with, and then you evaluate space and identify issues, and then you make vision and start your short-term experiments, and then continue it, evaluate it for long-term change. And important thing here is to come back to the experiment and the vision when you repeat the process of the intervention, continue your in the process of continuing your intervention. That is an incremental process. That is the important part in the process. Let me go through some specific parts. Place game is one of kind of representative tool to evaluate place. It's not only to evaluate, but to engage people or in doing it using this kind of worksheet, and motivate people to get involved in the later process, and the placemaking. Europe developed the original place game manual, and you can find it online on the placemaking Europe page. I recommend it to look at if you are interested in. There are many different it's a great toolbox on the site, but we edited and we created a Japanese version of the place game guide so that people can more easily do this practice. And we find the way of doing workshop is somewhat different in the Western context and us. So that is our finding. So we fine-tune that point in our guide. So we do other we have other ways to engage people that in local town called Utsunomiya. We have where we have project. We put this kind of pop-up station to collect an opinion from a different age group. We did a focus group interview outdoor. That was good. So by using different ways of engagement, you can reach different people on some key organization who can drive the process. And the other instrument is to count footprint on activities and doing survey and so on. It depends how much you have a budget for doing that, but then it gives a very great insight for you. So this is another interesting one. We did a project in Turkey. So we are based in Japan, but we by chance got a project in Turkey during the pandemic time. So we could not go to the site, and even there, they are not, they are restricted to move. So we invented the original alternative way by using an online workshop. We distributed a kit, and children created a very really great, inspiring outputs on the kit, and we collected their idea, and then the next step is to make a vision. It's a rough sketch of the intervention. We made a vision for transmission, and then that is the other part of the vision sketch to share the idea with children and the community. Also some action plan for doing it, and so that was a very quick project, and the municipality he made this amazing stuff based on the vision. It creates a really quick impact while it's still ongoing. So that is real, one of the real short-term process of placemaking. Okay, maybe okay, that's what we do as a Sotonova and Placemaking Japan. So Placemaking Japan is the movement action broader than Sotonova. Sotonova is just an initiator of this. That is a kind of platform or network to link people or spread idea nationwide. So we launched it last year, and that is so that is to spread placemaking more, and our Japan network is also a part of the global network called Placemaking X. Yeah, you can find it find it online. So there are many local networks, and you can find region, Europe, or elsewhere. So I recommend to find it. That if you are interested in placemaking, that opens a webinar. That gives you very great network and further ideas for learning and doing. Okay, thank you so much. So that is short but somewhat longer than expected introduction of placemaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, KT. This was really enlightening. Thanks a lot for this, for this lecture. Yes, so I would like to ask maybe in the audience if there are some questions about that, because for example, I can tell you that the bachelor project we're working in this semester, we have the challenge to activate public space in a middle town size in close to Berlin. So actually, they have the challenge to activate through small interventions within the public space, the place, and to convert it into a place, as you were saying it. So I don't know if some of the students have some questions also about how to do this. I don't know if there is some questions in the audience.
There is one interesting question on chat. Okay, that's
Yes.
about the integration of the academy in the placemaking. And actually, that's our group. Sotonova, one of the our co-leader and founder, is academic person who teaches in the university. So he's he's both academic oriented and practice oriented. So we do these projects, but we also do some research projects with an academic society or a public institution, and this place game guide is a fruit of that kind of activity that we made this in the kind of co-research in the co-research project. So that's our kind of cycle. We do project in one hand, and we also kind of organize organize that idea in to this guide or something like that, so that people can learn the process. It's not, of course, it's not a or it can you cannot make manual for the old process. It's context by context, but maybe that's a kind of Japanese mindset to make some manual. We really want that. We are kind of careful for that. So we are doing that. And another question is coming. How do you think urban design has improved its approach based on data? I think it is more far from being art and closer to be a science. That's interesting. Interesting part. Yeah, actually, that is not really of my expertise, but we not as Sotonova, but there are many trials in Japan in like or impact assessment of the use of the public spaces for activity researches, or in this pandemic under the pandemic situation, or some public space tested the or congestion and detecting technology, camera or something to avoid overcrowding. And so, yeah, then there would be a great potential, and yeah, that makes bigger changes in the coming few years, I think. And yeah, I see some hands.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because we share a lot of things you were telling also with the Peruvian urban context, and yeah, the importance of data and how to gather data is something really important for us now in Lima and in Peru in general, because there is a lack of data. So and placemaking and the approach to public space, and how we can also include academia and students in this process is really interesting, to also get data on which we can build on our projects. Yeah, this is really interesting. There's Roshan. Roshan, do you want to? Yeah, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you for your lecture. It was very interesting. I have one specific question to the survey you showed. I think it was on page 28 or something. The survey, is it for intern results evaluation, or is it publicly possible to look at? So are the people informed who made the survey what the results were?
Yeah, actually for this particular one, that this one is published open. You can you can find on issue page, but that depends on the project and client, and there are, I think there are different many different manners to do that.
And I have one more question about, just for curiosity reasons. How are the bureaucratic barriers in Japan regarding public spaces and public spaces? I can imagine that equally to Germany, it's quite hard to get things done.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think maybe in terms of that, bureaucratic barrier, maybe German and Japanese have maybe a similar sense. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, so Japanese bureaucracies also, yeah, it is not, so flexible, and but it's now changing some part, but it depends on the municipality. Some are very inspired with the recent trend of now public space reinvention, but the others are not so not so such progressive. So yeah, that said, we are maybe in the time of change, in transition, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Anne, you also have a question.
Hi, my question is, and I don't know if you maybe already talked about it because my internet is really bad today, so I was out of the meeting a few times. But my question is, if all of the projects still need a lot of care and work, like especially the long-lasting ones, do you continuously need to work on them, or do they start to function for themselves after a bit of time?
Yeah, that's also now important thing. Yeah, actually, yeah, that I forgot to tell, but yeah, one challenge we face is that it's about the continuation of the process and the project. Yeah, since 2015 or something, our public space movement has been booming, and there are so many actions in this domain, experimental events. There are so many one-off we call social experiment stuff, but it should be tested and improved and continued for the long run. That is the kind of idea, but in reality, some cannot, continue. And one reason is that, as you point, as you say, that or by the resource of the care of the continuing and the making the good sustainable structure on a scheme to continue on a scale up the process is very, very key for success. Yeah.
It's really sorry.
Just wanted to say thank you.
This is really an interesting point. We are also discussing always in the class, and we are trying to get in contact with, for example, City Hall or representatives. Also in Peru, we are always trying to collaborate with public policymakers on place, because I think there is where sustainability starts. If we really can, like, the first step of placemaking and tactical urbanism is to make something visible, to materialize something, some needs, something that is needed within the city, within public space, and then how to do this next step to get it sustainable, right? So, but it's actually interesting, as you were mentioning earlier, that there are several city halls and municipalities actually starting to use also this tool, as although it's maybe community-driven tool, but they start to use it also to test intervention before doing big financial investment also. No? So yeah, it's always this way to try where to get someone to do projects together.
Yeah, I think it's always challenging everywhere.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nora, please go ahead. Your question.
My question would be how you approach conflicts in public spaces, especially with neighbors or just groups of different interests. And if you use like that kind of experimental intervention here too, or if you have other ways of tackling that problem.
Yeah, that's the good one. So, luckily or not, for us, for in our project, we haven't had a serious problem, but it's still common in projects in Japan, and so in that sense, so again, starting from small is one strategy to deal with that, instead of having a very intense or big, which may face big opposition or a challenge. So testing small has that kind of has that the meaning to to test to make sure whether most people can be satisfied or unhappy, or when you find something wrong, you can change, you can avoid it. That's your lesson, and you can retry, because that's not permanent. That's a temporary intervention. So that's why you test. That the beauty of the LQC, and also this I skipped the specific explanation for the step 1, but this is also important to find to reach people, and well respected group on the people who can drive and organize the process. That is very, very important.
Hannah, I would like to point some thoughts, also based on the work we have been doing here in Lima, and it's pretty related for to the 5 standards that Koichiro has showed us. It's really important, Nora, to point out, as Koichiro said, which are the main leaders of the community, and try to get them closer, to see if there are some conflicts, to be like a step further from the process, trying to see which is going to happen on the future, to see which strategies you will need to show up to solve those conflicts. And another thing that works a lot is try to work on a interdisciplinary base. We have gained a lot of experience working with psychologists, anthropologists, educators, even designers, architects, policymakers, lawyers. So the knowledge all of them have can be complemented to see which ways we can find to address the conflicts when we try to intervene in public spaces.
Thanks, Jose. Yes, it's completely true, and it's actually this this process that when you start a project, it's not really a linear process, right? So it's completely circular. So it's possible that you're going around this 5. You're passing through these 5 points, and then you come to the evaluation, and you realize that there is a huge conflict going on inside the community, and you have to go back and you have to start talking about the collective dream. What is something that we in Peru, we are always calling the collective dream, is what is our vision, what is our collective vision as a city, as a community, including neighbors, city hall representatives, technicians, the practitioners, everybody who's part of this needs, we need this participatory process and this really horizontal process to really include everybody. And then also, I just remember this project we were working on in Lima in a community, and it was really emotional also, and there were just a lot of conflicts, and we also had to step aside in some moments, being aware of that sometimes we as just architects or planner, we are not able to solve those conflicts. So we need this interdisciplinary work Jose was talking about. And yeah, it's a lot of being sensible also with not just with the built environment, but also with the social dynamics we find inside the city. Yeah, but it's a completely bottom up way of doing city. It's not imposing something from outside. It's completely working with the community. And while you do this work through community and with the community, you can find a lot of conflicts, not just in public space, but also in the whole process. And it's learning about how to be flexible enough with that.
Yeah, that's great point. Maybe, yeah, the finding the common value, shared value is maybe the starting point to work together. And maybe one approach is to look at or positive side, the assets or the excitement of people, or not, or not going to the more negative issues. That's also important to get addressed. But yeah, that may be one approach to or to cause your dialogue.
Thank you all. Those were great answers, really helpful.
Yeah, it's about sharing experiences and from the field. Actually, this is something that a lot of situation you work or you have to deal with a lot of conflicts. You just find them on site and within the process. And it's as Koichiro was saying, it would be nice to have a toolkit for everything and for maybe every situation, but it's basically not possible. So, but yes, something that we can do is kind of to elaborate tools to share also those, to have those moments here, actually, to share with the placemaking movement in Japan, to share something that we learned in Peru, to maybe try it here in Germany and then share it again. So it's a lot of learning by doing, actually, that the city needs this level. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any other question.
I have one last question, if it's okay, Koichiro. Like, really thank you for this lecture again. And it's maybe a personal question, like, what's your motivation, like, behind all of this work, all of these processes, like, in between architecture or urbanism? Like, what motivates you to keep on doing this kind of work?
That's good one, because before I come into this career, I also did consulting work, but for bigger, for larger scale planning, mainly in transport sector, citywide, region-wide, or sometimes nationwide, and that was great, really exciting to draw very long term, 20, 30 years vision on a strategy, hundreds paper of report. Okay, that's fun, but I've really seen in the plan is implemented. Unfortunately, for many reasons, like some political process or the financial allocation and so on. So that's yeah, that was difficult, and I thought different approach which can make a quicker impact and more which can create more direct impact, more human-centered. And then I encountered the placemaking and tactical urbanism. So that's why I studied that approach. So yeah, so that's an background. Yeah, that I believe the placemaking has an great power to whoever can start in your community, and it can create an impact, and you can share with it. So I believe the power of the placemaking, and I think it yeah, I feel it's getting more and more important, not only in the United States, Japan, Europe, or but in Latin America and any other part of the world where rapid urbanization is going on. The many sometimes boring skyscrapers filling the ground, but the lovable places needed by everybody. So that's my motivation.
I think this was the perfect final for this talk, and also maybe to take us these questions with us. Also, what is our motivation to improve our cities and how? And yeah, thanks a lot, Koichiro, again for this amazing talk, for this lecture, and thanks also to Juan Pablo, Jose, to be here present from Peru. And to all the students from TU Berlin, thanks a lot for being here also. And yeah, let's just give a big applause to Koichiro, and thanks a lot for taking your time, and hopefully see you soon, maybe also another possibilities of collaboration. And yeah, we are completely open to share our experience and to be in contact. So stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the international conversation today, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about your project. Good luck.
Thanks a lot. So bye everybody. Have a good Friday and a nice weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Koichiro. It was great to having you.
Yeah, it's very nice.
A completely pleasure. Yes.
Thank you, Koichiro.
Very nice question in the end.
I think we all do these kind of things for like having fun and trying to make something for our society, you know. We're trying to be like the best professionals we have, but we're pretty close to try to make some history out of our work. So yes, it's pretty much the same for us, I think.
Yeah, that's very great course for very nice learning.
Yeah, I think that it's actually about having fun. I'm not sure about that, because I think that a community engagement and all those processes needs a lot of energy and a lot of confidence also in the work you're doing, kind of. And but what I really like is about this really being close to the real city. This is something that I'm missing a lot when you're being in this really big study, like urban projects, and you do something and you really don't know if this is the project that community needs. So this was always something that motivated me to be really close to community and to work together and to be more, to do more collective projects, because we are just a facilitator. Sometimes I feel it like this, that the architects are kind of facilitating and accompanying the process, but I think I do not feel able to just to do a project without really knowing if it's good or not. So
or sometimes like some cities have